Hello, everybody! Were you expecting someone else? Well, he doesn't know I'm doing this, but I thought I'd take over for what the hell of it. Huh? So, here we go, folks. Here's an epic moment in comic books. Let me know if he's coming around, because he doesn't know I'm doing this. Anywho, I thought for this epic moment in comic books, we'll look at Spider-Man. And this is the extra return story arc. This is when Ben Reilly turned into Scarlet Spider. Well, he's dead. If I would say he wouldn't have been dead, but still. Anywho, this is an epic moment in comic books. I know, I should be in them. But anyway, the epic moment in comic books is that this is like the first time that you get a nice battle between the Scarlet Spider and Venom. Up to this point, this has never happened before. Scarlet Spider-Man already had never faced Venom, but he decided to take it into his own hands. Like an idiot, but still. But here's what happens in this issue. And I have all the issues, but there's a few down issues that really suck. Well, actually don't really suck, but they're not incredibly exciting. This is where the action happens in part 2 and 4. If you can get those, get that right away. And pick up Deadpool comics. Seriously, pick up Deadpool comics. I started. But anywho, in the beginning of the issue, this is when you have Ben Reilly finally sets out to stop him. And he confronts the reporter. And pretty much Venom is running amok. He's protecting the city in his own brand of justice. Essentially, what he's doing is... if you look at this, he's pretty much killing bad guys. And that's a big no-no. And people are not comfortable with Venom doing it. That's when Scarlet Spider steps in and decides that Spider-Man's not going to stop him. He's going to stop him. And he builds his brand new suit in the first issue of this, and he comes and confronts Venom. And of course, Venom has no idea. He thinks it's Spider-Man. He really believes it's Spider-Man. He has no idea that this is someone else who's confronting him. And of course, who's confronting him? And of course, it doesn't bode well, because when Venom kind of comes to that it wasn't really Spider-Man that's hitting him. And this is how he learns. You get this really epic drawing here. See that? See that? See that? Yeah. Look at that epic drawing. You get this really great artwork here. This drawing with nice single page right here. And that's when Venom's like, yeah, that can't be Peter Parker. We have a deal. And even tries explaining that to Ben Reilly, who's dead. I'm not dead, but still. And anywho, when he tries to explain it to Ben Reilly, he's stunning him, and they get into this huge, nice battle. And this is the first time they fought. And it doesn't go well for Scarlet Spider, obviously. He doesn't have a healing factor like me, so... Pretty much, what ends up happening is... Scarlet Spider ends up getting slashed. Right in the stomach. He is pretty much, instead of letting his spider sense do the work for him, he kind of panicked. And... Bam! Right in the stomach. Slashed. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't have a healing factor. Additionally... He can actually even use his spider sense because apparently he never bonded to the Venom symbiote, so he doesn't have a connection. Ergo, he could use his spider sense unlike Peter Parker. And Venom is about to kill Scarlet Spider, and Scarlet Spider is pretty much more or less willing to admit defeat and death because he's a clone, he has no family. That's terrible. No, it isn't. But he has no family. And he really doesn't mind it. But then his other symbiote comes, and they tango, so to speak. And now, not only do you kind of get this battle with the symbiote, with Scarlet Spider and Venom, but you also get this battle with these two. And they go to town on each other. They're jointing and cars. They're reckless as hell. Not as reckless as me, I know that, but still. And Scarlet Spider decides that, he has to do something. No matter how much pain he is, he has to limit his damage. And so he's over here rescuing people out of cars. And he rescues this guy from a trolley. And then he decides to finally end this. He decides, I'm going to end this thing. And how does he decide to do it? He takes both Venom and her, and he pretty much knocks them all into the lake. And of course, he knows that's not going to stop them. He's like, yeah, I know it's not going to stop him, but I still... And this is how the issue went. They fall into the water, but Venom pops out. And in this issue also, you kind of get the name the Scarlet Spider. He gets christened the Scarlet Spider by the reporter. And that's the new name. Scarlet Spider. So this was the first issue you ever had that. Name ever be told. And then we continue in this issue 4-4. This time, Scarlet Spider, you can tell, he kicks Venom's ass. He took some tips from me, but he kicked his ass. And the epic thing about it is that he uses, this is him showing ingenuity. I mean, he came up with a lot of new weapons. Spider stingers, the impact weapon, which is the most important thing. And this time, he confronts Venom. And, of course, it doesn't go too well for him. You get this whole issue is just a big battle between them. And it's not going on. He's getting strangled. And he just, when he thinks he's about to give up, he's like, no, I can't do that. I can't. I know I'm a clone, but I wasn't taught that way. And not only does he hit Venom, he knocks him all the way across the building. And you just still got this huge battle. This huge battle. I mean, they keep fighting, and Scarlet Spider knows he can't move forever. And so he uses a shitload of impact webbing. Look at that. And the impact weapon actually is very effective. It traps Venom into this cocoon, and Venom actually struggles to get out. He's going to get out, but he struggles to get out. And it just shows that this is a weapon that's actually really effective against Venom. And this time, Scarlet Spider is just relaxing. He's just, resting, waiting for Venom to come out. Meanwhile, you kind of get an entry into Venom's head, what Venom's thinking in his thought process. And you kind of get a thought process between Scarlet Spider's thinking. Like, he's questioning himself. Why is he doing this? Why? Why am I doing this? And additionally, finally, he gets out and he starts fighting again. Oh, no. This costume is not letting me go. And he breaks free and he tumbles all the way down. Look at that. And they just completely go at each other. I mean, Scarlet Spider's hitting Venom with everything he has, and the suit is just absorbing everything, and he should have stabbed him, but he didn't listen to me, and, and he's just completely, doesn't know what to do. And it looks just like when it looks like Scarlet Spider's going to get his ass kicked and dead. Look at him, he's getting strangled. Just what it looks like. He does one thing that, right here, very important. He shoots impact webbing inside the mouth of Venom. And of course, the Venom is like, that's it. And what that does is the impact weapon expands immediately on impact and continues to expand. And so since when he shot inside his mouth, he shot that webbing in between the suit and Eddie Brock, in between the symbiote and Eddie Brock, and that effectively separates him. And so now, you look at this, look at that. You got this effect, he's separated, and that has never been done. And this is when Ben Reilly, good old Scarlet Spider, really goes to town on Eddie Brock. I mean, just look at that. He's just wailing on him, kicking him, and he's just like, and Scarlet Spider's just thinking to himself, how did Peter Parker never even stop this guy? Why did he let him run on the loose? And he's just saying, and he's telling Venom, someone should have did this to you a long time ago, and I'm just the person to do it. And at the end of the issue, this is how it ends. This is how it ends. Oh, this is how he beats him. Oh, come on. And then suddenly, bam! Venom falls! Venom falls! Down goes Venom! Down goes Venom! Venom falls! Venom falls! And let me just remind you, folks, this is before Venom was neutered. Venom pretty much was a badass. No one was able to just destroy Venom like this except Carnage. No hero. Additionally, not only that, but he also has to take on the symbiote now. The symbiote, trying to protect Venom. And the symbiote, when it reaches out to Ben Reilly, it realizes that there's something similar about him. Because he's the clone of Peter Parker. And Ben Reilly fights it off, and he breaks free of it. So not only does he defeat Venom, but he actually successfully resists the bonding of the symbiote. And I don't think Spider-Man even did that either. So, there you go. And that's the end of the issue. This is the epic moment in comic books. The Exile returns. And what's important about this issue is that, well, one, this is the story arc is when you first get the name Scarlet Spider. Also, this is the first time you ever get the suit shown. Additionally, it's important because this story arc also introduces Kane, Spider-Man's failed clone. And if you know, Kane is actually the current Scarlet Spider, and he's also playing a big role in the Spider-Verse, because it's the bride and I can't pronounce the last name, bastards. But anyway, yeah, and they're going to play a big role in that story arc. So, additionally, this also is very important because it legitimatized the character. it made Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider legitimate. This is when people really started taking notice. This is when people took notice, and it was just like, whoa, this character's for real. He's legit. Because up to this point, Venom was a badass. He had never, ever been beaten. Ever. I never fought him. If he would have fought me, I would have kicked his ass. But he'd never been beaten up to this point. Up to this point, he did something that Spider-Man could never do. He beat Venom. Every battle that Spider-Man had with Venom up to that point, pretty much Peter Parker, he found some clever way to get out. Like one of them, he convinced the symbiote to come off Eddie Brock and join him. Another one, he faked his own death. Another one, he outsmarted Venom and made sure he ran out of his organic webbing. And so Venom fell to the floor when he was going to the clock tower. And another one, Sticks or Stone, that story, or Stick or Stone, he pretty much gave disintegrated the symbiote by giving it cancer with his touch. So Spider-Man up to that point had never really beaten him. He could never stand toe-to-toe with Venom in a fight. But the clone, Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider, at this point, was the first one to do something that Peter Parker could never do. He went toe-to-toe with Venom and he won. He actually legitimately beat him. He beat him. He didn't convince the symbiote to fall. He wasn't luck. He actually beat him. He beat him straight forward. And that's the most important thing. It made this character legit and made people take the character seriously. And so, yeah, this has been an epic moment in comic books, folks. And so, it takes place in 2 issues. It takes place in Spider-Man from 51 to 52, and Web of Spider-Man from Web of Spider-Man 119 to 120, or 118 to 119, somewhere around there. But these are the 2 issues you want to get. These is so epic because you just get a great artwork. You get this great battle between these 2 guys. Just nothing like a nice little slugfest. You get the introduction of Kane, you get the name and the costume of Scarlet Spider, and it also does great work for the character. It legitimizes the character of Scarlet Spider. So yeah, it's been an epic moment in the comic books, folks. This has been Deadpool. I gotta go. He's coming. Deadpool! Recording a video. I'll get you, Deadpool. One day I'll get you.